for being here. Good afternoon. I'm in Colombia. That's why I'm saying good afternoon, but this is probably morning time for some people or evening time for other people. Thank you very much for being here. This is the second presentation or webinar in a series that we are doing about AcadeMe Junior, and I'm very happy that you're here. I'm gonna start. Today, we are going to focus on how AcadeMe Junior, English AcadeMe Plus Junior, just a full name, can be aligned to your curriculum goals and can enhance your students' learning experience. I would like to start by learning a little bit about, who is in the audience and your role. So I'm going to ask a question here in the Q&A, and I hope everybody can answer. What's your profile? And then you can tell me if you are a school administrator, a coordinator, a principal, or if you're an English teacher in one of these levels, elementary, middle, or high school, or if you're a language teacher, educator, or if your profile, if your role involves two or more of these roles, or if you have any other role. So feel free to answer the question on the chat just to get a sense of who is here with us today. Let's give them some time to answer. Okay, other, if you can add in a comment what that role is. Okay, Eva, I think Eva can see us now, or at least hear us. For those of you who are joining us now, welcome. We would like to know about your profile, your role at your institution. Okay, an ELT content creator. We have an English teacher at high school. Great. Let's see if we get more answers. Angelina, welcome from León, Guanajuato. Bienvenida. Gracias por estar acá. And she is, let's see, school admin. Okay, Stephanie, welcome. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Okay, so probably, or I really want to think that the information that I'm going to share with you today is going to be very useful if your role is any of these roles that I've included here. Now, my second question, what brought you here? I would like to learn about English AcadeMe Junior. Is this the first time you hear about this solution from Everybody Loves Languages? Is this your first time hearing about this program? That would be number one. Number two, I already know about English AcadeMe Plus, and I'm interested in trying it out at my institution. And number three, I'm already using AcadeMe Plus Junior. Some of you might be piloting the program as we speak, and you would like to know more about it. So I would like to know, let me just open the chat one sec. What brought you here? And you can tell us a little bit about that. One, two, or three. Is this the first time you're hearing about AcadeMe Junior? Do you already know about it and you're interested in trying it out in your institution? Or are you already using it and you would like to know a little bit more? If you could leave your comments. Okay, we have English teachers from Mexico. This is wonderful. Okay, number 3, I'm already using AcadeMe Junior. Great. Perfect. Thank you. Let's wait for a couple of more answers. Okay, you'd like to learn more about English AcadeMe Junior. I think that's number 1. Perfect. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to know who is in the audience is because we already had an introduction to English AcadeMe Junior a couple of weeks ago. And if you're interested, if you didn't attend and you want to catch up, I will recap some of the ideas that were presented on that webinar by our Director of Pedagogy, Vinnie Nobry. But the recording is available on YouTube. I've included the QR code here in case you want to check it out. It has a lot of details that you might want to explore about AcadeMe Junior. And as I said, I'm going to try to bring today a summary of those main points, but our goal today is more on the curriculum alignment and how AcadeMe Junior can work with your syllabus and with your current core program. Great. Okay, I keep getting more answers. That's wonderful. So if you want to scan the QR code, please feel free to do that and you can catch up with our webinar series. Okay, so to recap, English AcadeMe Junior is a program, a solution that has been designed to teach English through movies with high quality content and very solid pedagogical principles to students between the ages of 6 and 12 years old. As you can see on this slide, you will see that we have 8 levels. The whole linear program has 8 levels. Each level has 5 units, and what you see on the screen right now is the map, the course map, what students are going to see when they log in our course. This would be level 1. You see that there are 5 units. Each unit covers a movie. And then within each unit, you will find 6 lessons per unit for a total of 240 lessons by the end of the program. Besides these lessons in each unit, you will find unit challenges, which are like the final tests of each unit, as well as a level project. And I will tell you a little bit more about that in a second. If you're wondering how AcadeMe Junior matches your student's level, this is a program that has been designed from a pre-A1 level in the Common European Framework up to an A2.3. That will be the final stage of A2. In the last 2 levels. So as I said before, this is a program that has been created for students between the ages of 6 and 12. And then this is roughly the suggestion, because we understand that depending on the context, students are going to have a different level at a different age. So this is our suggestion, but of course, depending on your context, you will be able to adapt the contents of the program to your needs. Moving on, our lessons. As I said, in each unit, we have a total of 6 lessons, and each lesson has a different focus. So right here at the bottom of the screen, you can see the different foci that we have for each lesson. We have a lesson that is that emphasizes on vocabulary building. We really believe on the building blocks that will help students communicate in the foreign or second language. We also have a lesson that focuses on language structures with the understanding that language or grammar cannot be taught explicitly at this age. So students are exposed to the language naturally, and each lesson will provide them with the input they need to understand how the language works. We also have lessons that are focused on the intercultural awareness. We understand and believe that culture is a key part in language learning. So some of our lessons focus on that intercultural global citizenship skill. We also have 3 more types of lessons. The soft CLIL one, we understand that we cannot take a hard CLIL approach. We are not teaching content through English. We are not teaching disciplines, but we are using English to learn about other areas of the curriculum and other topics that students might be studying in different subjects like science, social studies, art, etc. And we have 2 key lessons that I particularly love. The one about listening and speaking. Of course, listening is a huge part across the whole program because of the nature of the input that we are giving students, natural language through authentic movies. But there is a lesson that focuses on listening and speaking, those abilities that students need to develop orally. And then we also have a lesson in each unit that focuses on storytelling and literacy. And it's also one of my favorites. Okay. So in terms of lesson flow, when you start using English Academy Junior, you will realize that each lesson has a structure that I would like to tell you a little bit more about. Every lesson starts with an engage stage, in which students are introduced to the movie. As you can see here in this example, we see the movie Encanto, and then students will hear a summary of the lesson and what they will learn, the objectives that they will achieve. And they will have a question that will ask them about their likes and dislikes, kind of activating schemata, checking what they know about the topic, focusing their attention on the issue or the topic that we want to work with. And then in this case, do you like dancing? And yes, I do. No, I don't. These are questions without a correct answer. So any answer will do. As for the second stage in the lesson, we have the explore stage, in which we intentionally selected 6 items, vocabulary items that students are going to study and specialize in each lesson. And something that is really important here is that we have decided not to use only isolated words. We also use chunks and sentences because we believe students will learn better when the language, the input that they receive is natural, is authentic. So here in this case, we see that we're using sentences as input for this lesson. And then once students have studied the flashcards for the lesson, they get some practice with a multiple choice question in which they can practice that vocabulary that they just learned. Once we finish these first 2 stages, students are exposed to the movie. So this is the interact section. It is when or where students are really going to start watching the movie. And as they interact with the movie, as they enjoy the story and the message of the movie, they will start seeing, or some questions will start popping up on the screen for students to answer them. So we have a wide variety of exercises that students can do. I brought just a couple of examples for you to see today. This one, for example, is a swiping activity. Students hear a question, and then based on the image that they see on the screen, they will have to swipe right or swipe left. If the question or the image corresponds to what they are hearing, then they will swipe right, or if it doesn't, then they will swipe left. This is just one of the exercises that they do. We have a typical multiple choice exercise for students to, again, answer questions about what they are seeing in the movie and the messages that they are getting. This one is really cool. Students get to complete sentences using icons. Students get to record themselves as they answer or read these sentences and complete these sentences with the vocabulary words that they learned. This one is really nice. This one is a sequencing activity for students to order the sequence of events in the story based on what they just saw. So imagine the kids watching a segment of the movie and the movie stops, they get this question and they get to order the sequence of events that just happened in the movie. So these are just a couple of examples of the interact section. There are many others. Students can fill in the gaps. Students can do spelling, etc. There are many, many different activities that they can do to interact with the movie. Once the lesson is over, then we have this fourth stage, which is the review stage with a memory game, which students love. They get to practice the vocabulary items and the language that was targeted in the lesson. And then finally, for the last stage of the lesson, we have the self-assessment in which we really want students to think about what they learned and test themselves on what is it that they learned in the lesson. So here we have a very brief explanation of the lesson flow and the different stages of the lesson. As I announced at the beginning, we also have a challenge and projects. We have challenges at the end of each unit, and we have projects at the end of each level. And these are the formal assessment milestones in the course, but of course they are formative assessment as well. In the unit challenge, particularly, students have the chance to revisit content from the 6 lessons that they covered in each unit. They can check what they learned in the unit, and of course, teachers can monitor what they learned so that they can provide further practice or reinforcement for those students who may be having some difficulties. It informs teachers and parents of students' achievement, and of course, students feel that they are being assessed in a very fun and interactive way. As for the projects, as if you were here on the last webinar, Vinny explained all about the project-based learning principle that lies on the foundations of this program. And then here, teachers can have the opportunity of working throughout some time, working with their students on nice projects related to the real lives, to sustainability, to global citizenship. And the idea with these projects is for teachers and students to work on hands-on tasks that students will develop in a hybrid model. They will have some tasks on the platform, but they will also have some assignments in the classroom that they can work with the teacher. Projects also provide meaningful opportunities for students to use the language in a natural setting with communicative purposes. It allows students to transfer what they're learning, of course, to other areas of the curriculum. As you saw before, there is a soft CLIL approach to the program that you can take advantage of if you are a foreign language teacher that have to teach other subjects as well in English. This is going to be very useful. It provides opportunities for formative and summative assessment, and this is beautiful. There is always a final product through which students will demonstrate what they learned. So we have, of course, presentations, dioramas, many different and cool things for students to work on. So on the map that you see on the screen, you can see that the ones that are circled, this is where students are going to find the challenges and the project. So in this case, for example, this is level 8, unit 1. They will be studying the movie. This is Happy Feet. They will have 6 lessons. And then at the end, they will have a challenge, which is the quiz, so to speak, the final assessment once they finish the unit. And then as they finish the level, they will be coming here to the last unit. Once they finish the last challenge, they will find the project for that level. And then they will be able to do a lot of fun activities for the project, both on the platform and with their teachers in the classroom. Okay, so most of you are teachers, and I'm sure you're very interested to know what's there for you. There are plenty of resources for the teacher in English Academy Plus Junior. The first one here is the reports. Teachers get their teacher dashboard. They can see students' performance. They can track what students are doing on their platform. They get reports about time spent, average scores. They can assign homework, and they can check that homework there as well. So it's a very comprehensive dashboard. You also have access, once you get the program, you have access to the teacher's guide with the clear and detailed explanation of the principles of the program and the resources available for you. You also get an individual lesson plan for each of the lessons, so you don't have to plan the lessons, they are already there. You have a digital version of the lesson plan with the learning outcomes, with the teaching points, as well as with suggestions for activities to do with every single exercise that there is in the platform, or you can download it as well. So you have the digital version and you have the PDF version of the lesson plan for each and every one of the 240 lessons, plus challenges, plus projects. So everything has their lesson plans. Besides that, you will find a collection of over 500 worksheets and quizzes already done for you. So all you need to do is print, photocopy, and use with your students for every single lesson. And of course, this is what I am here to show you. We have a syllabus that has been built for every one of the levels and that you can access once you acquire the program. Any questions up to this point? Maybe we can check if we have questions from the audience. Let me see. Okay, I think there are no questions. So I'll move on to curriculum alignment. As I was saying before, every lesson in Academy Junior has a focus that revolves around any of these topics or items that I am showing on the screen. So we have vocabulary building, language structures, intercultural awareness, soft CLIL, listening and speaking, storytelling, and literacy. We are quite sure that any type of syllabus that you are following will fall under one of these categories. So it will be very easy for any teacher to find some connection between the contents in English Academy Plus Junior and their own curricula. So if you're teaching, if your syllabus is theme-based or content-based, then you will be very likely to match your content with the soft CLIL lessons, for example. If your school follows an intercultural approach to learning, then you will see that English Academy Junior has a lot to offer to you too. There's also the progression in our program. Once you start exploring the material, you will realize that content and language topics and items have been introduced carefully following a linear progression. So for example, here for the topic of adjectives, you will see it across the levels. So in level 2, and these are just a couple of examples that I drew from the syllabus. In level 2, students are going to describe animal characteristics and people's appearance, and then they will continue to learn and to grow on the idea of descriptions at a more complex level. So in level 4, they will describe what someone looks like. They will describe animals, peoples, and places. Then in level 5, they will use the adjectives to tell a scary story. So they are building everything that they are learning into communication, contrasting the personality and skills of different characters in a story. And then in level 8, they put everything together and they identify and use adjectives to describe places, people, and experiences based on past events. As I said, this is just one example of how the program offers some progression across the levels. Okay, so now it's time for some participation from the audience. I'm going to stop talking now because I would like to do this exercise with you, and I really hope you can help me with your participation. I would like to know first, what kind of syllabus do you use in your institution? Is it a content-based, theme-based, lexical? What kind of syllabus are you following for language teaching and learning? Once you have answered that question, then maybe you can take a couple of minutes to open your syllabus document and choose one learning unit that that you are teaching. And then maybe tell us a little bit about the content that that unit includes. And then I'm going to share, number 3, I'm going to share a link to our syllabus. And I would like you to take maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes to try to find a lesson or a couple of lessons or some units in AcadeMe Junior that could be a good match for your learning unit. Because as you probably know, English Academy Plus Junior has been designed not only as a course that you can use only as your core material for your program, but also it can be used as a supplementary material. So if you're following a textbook, if you already have a core material, you can use AcadeMe Junior to complement that. So let's try to do this exercise. Now, let me just see if I'm just going to give you some minutes and I'm going to be in silence just to hear what you have to share. Okay, so I'll open the floor now for question 1. What type of syllabus do you use? Would you like to tell us? We have a content-based syllabus. Perfect. Wonderful. I don't have your name. This is an anonymous user. But if you can maybe explore your syllabus right now, and then let me just send you the link for AcadeMe Junior. And then you can maybe find some connections. Okay, content-based and theme-based, because the dynamics of the classes are mostly wide-ranging. Yeah, I totally get your point. Perfect. So let me share this link with you all. Please let me know when you see it. And I'll give you maybe 5 minutes for you to explore your syllabus against AcadeMe Junior, and then let us know which connections you found. Sorry, yeah, it seems like the link is not working. So I'm just going to try again. Let's see. One sec. Okay, so I'll send the link again. Okay. Anyone? Right. Okay, we should be able to see it now. Can you please confirm? I just sent a new link. Can you please check now? You should be able to open it. Perfect. Okay, now you can see it. Wonderful. Okay, I think we can have a couple of minutes and then you can start sharing your answers. What coincidences did you find? What connections between Academy Junior and your syllabus? It can be a topic, it can be a learning goal, it can be a language content. Perfect. I see that people are saying that it's working. Wonderful. Please feel free to add your comments as soon as you start finding connections between your syllabus and AcadeMe Junior. Perfect. Okay. I think we've had enough time, and I already see some answers from the audience. There is a teacher here, and I'm sorry I cannot see the name. But this teacher is telling us there are language and reading content that we can match. That's wonderful. If you can give us an example, that would be great, because this is evidence that AcadeMe Junior is actually very useful, and it can complement very easily your core course and your core content. So teacher, if you can add maybe a couple of language goals or learning goals that you found could be a match, that would be great. That could give us a very nice example. And we are here waiting for other people to join the discussion and tell us how they can match their own syllabus to AcadeMe Junior. Perfect. We have another teacher. Thank you for sharing. There are several similar things we can use. And what is, I think, more interesting is that it's all through the magic of cinema, right? Students love watching the movies, but we are not wasting our time or spending time watching movies. We are using this pedagogical resource for students to actually learn the language. We have other examples here. My unit, Living Together, Animals and Humans. And then in AcadeMe Junior, we have My Friends and Animals. Wonderful. This is teacher Raha. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Thank you for sharing that example. Thank you so much. Perfect. We have another example here, demonstratives. And in the reading strategies, we have rising action, climax, resolution. So this, I'm sure, is part of the literacy storytelling lessons that AcadeMe Junior offers. And it's a wonderful example of how this solution will help you strengthen students' skills, reading skills and literacy skills. Thank you for sharing that example. That is a beautiful example. Okay, as we wait for other teachers to share their own examples of connections between AcadeMe Junior and their course and their syllabus and their curricula, I would like to start wrapping up because of time. And of course, you can continue adding your ideas and your examples, and they will be welcome. But I do want to thank everybody for joining us today. Remember that English AcadeMe Junior is there for everybody to use it. If you are interested in taking a look at it, you can contact us, and our customer success team is more than happy to help you, to give you some licenses and to try out the program and see all the benefits that it offers to your students. Thank you all very much for your presence, for coming, for this time. And we are here in case you have questions, in case you want to know more. We are all ears and we are very happy to assist you. Thank you so much. And please, please continue to add your examples on the chat, and I'll open these last couple of minutes to questions.